My 34MGF28F of 4 years and a half cheated on me. Is there any advice I can get to save my relationship? I would like to start with saying sorry for the long post. My 34MGF28F has been cheating on me for the past 9 months. We met at a former retail corporate office as she worked for the HR department and I was working as an investigator. I was always a heavy-set but tall guy and she was chubby but always knew how to carry it right. We clicked immediately. I knew how she was back then and what she was about, but it didn't bother me as I always saw past the baggage. After a year and a half of hanging out almost every day, I told her that I liked her after our company party. We got together December 2019 and been together ever since. COVID messed everyone up since she always dealt with several anxiety, although never diagnosed. I thought since she was always anxious, why not go have a joint and grab food to go? That became an everyday thing, unfortunately. We both gained weight but she did more than me. We lived about 5 minutes from each other so we were always together every day. Summer 2022 I lost my job and was unemployed for the following 6 months. She never left my side, held it down like I would have and never shamed me for it. Come January 2023, I landed an amazing opportunity with a great company and the dark cloud was finally clearing. I've always supported her with her jobs and always said that she can do better and earn more for her hard work, so she was able to land a job in her field doing what she loved. The benefits in this company was discount on housing at the properties the company owns. People doubted us, or more so myself, due to just starting the job, but we needed to have our own space and we pulled the trigger. Moved out March 2023. Come May 2023, she underwent weight loss surgery. I was there every step of the way and even slept on a very uncomfortable recliner, but it didn't matter cause I was there for her and to support her. I joked that when she lost the weight she gained and regained her confidence, that she'll cheat on me. The joke was so light and we both laughed. We've had many fights and a lot due to her being unreasonable or her anxiety taking the best of her. It has gotten physical at times, but nothing where I laid my hands on her to harm her. More like just firm pushes to get her away. The last big fight we had was really bad and to the point where I had to call the PD in order for her to stop. Not that she was hurting me or anything, but it just got too intense. The property manager 35M was aware of the situation and reached out to her about it. I never thought anything of since he was the one who helped us out with getting this place. This happened in August 2023. Following the coming months, I told her when she felt like arguing, I'm just not going to engage because I knew where it can go. At times, we'll end up calling each other bad names like it was normal. This past January, we were smoking in our apartment and I just so happened to grab her phone from her hand, not snatching or in a disrespectful way, and opened her messages to send myself something from her phone. I would like to note, never in my past relationships or present have I ever felt to spy, follow, look through her phone or even question infidelity. I've never been that person and I never will be that person because that is no way of living and being in a relationship. So what do I see? A text from a random guy saying wide? I handed the phone back to her and just walked away. She knew I saw but didn't mention anything. Confronted her about it that night and she started crying saying it was nothing and that it was an old friend. I told her I would never do that to her and that it really hurt my heart and soul that she was doing that behind my back. I wasted 7 sick days from work due to anxiety of the situation. Yet, I gave her the benefit of the doubt and looked past it because this is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. Fast forward to the first Friday of May. We try to always hang out with friends and make sure we have a social life outside of our relationship, also due to the fact that we're far from our families or friends in general. We both work from home, but she's in the office 2 to 3 times a week. That Wednesday she was in the office, I was feeling something strange and just so happened to look at our shared iPad that has her account linked. I know it was wrong to check, but I just had to. What I saw hurt me for life. She's always been very open with me, and especially when she takes a photo, she'll always share it with me and ask me if she looks good. Although we fought a lot, I never in my entire life have body shamed her or said she looked ugly or unattractive, cause I never felt that. In my eyes, she was the most beautiful and gorgeous person I've ever been with, but to see these photos and wondering who the hell she's been sending it to was my mind. She always used a friend of hers 28F from college, another female, as a reason to hang out, so when one of the videos that I see of her hanging out in an apartment that I've never seen or been to, drinking a beer, which bothered me because she never drinks, and looking calm, relaxed and happy. It raised so many questions. But I decided to not confront her about it. That Friday, she lets me know she's going to hang out with this friend of hers. BTWI met her, so I know she wasn't lying about hanging with her. Completely oblivious. I get home from hanging with my friend and cousin and she asked me if I can maybe bring her something to eat cause she didn't eat much. Part of her hanging out was that she was going out to a restaurant with her friend. I brought her leftovers and got home around 2 a.m. She was already home and sleeping when I walked in. I asked her how was it and her response was it was okay. But she said it like she was annoyed. Granted, everyone gets annoyed when waking from a nap or mid-sleep, so I chalked it down to that. I proceed to ask her what did she have to eat since they went out to a restaurant. She always tells me when she went out with her coworkers or her friends, but what I found strange is how she couldn't think of an answer and proceeded to say American food. I was like huh, but again she was moody and I wasn't trying to get into a pointless argument. The following day, I was working from home and she wanted to go see her mother. I knew that she was going cause she called me when she got there and heard her nephew and brother talking in the background. I let her be for the day so she can do whatever she was doing. My thoughts started running and I just so happened to look into the iPad and what do I see? A video of her in the same apartment as the previous video. Didn't question her until we were together that night. We stepped out to the market after my shift and when driving back home she was telling all about the conversations with her mother and brother. We were laughing and all. Then I worded my question to her. Hey, why has your friend never invited you over her house to hang out instead of always being out? She then tells me oh cause her sister lives with her and the place is small and uncomfortable. I immediately went quiet and she noticed. I started driving a bit aggressive and she noticed that as well. We stayed quiet the rest of the ride home. After we put all the stuff away, I asked her to have a seat and proceeded to ask her where she was last night. My GF is Hispanic but really light-skinned. But when I tell you all that I've never seen someone go completely pale including her red lips, it was something I only saw on TV or movies. I proceeded to ask her and she said it was just a friend and nothing happened. I asked her what felt like 15 times if she cheated on me and started crying and said yes. My heart dropped. I put my trust, heart and soul to this woman. Everything was a blur that night and I was calling her every name in the book as she was trying to say what happened, but what I did do was ask her to unlock her phone. Took almost an hour but she unlocked it. She was sending pics of her pleasing herself or of her chest to these random guys. I moved out all my stuff the next day with the help of my father. I called her mother to let her know and to tell her that I've always treated her daughter with respect. She said how I was such a nice guy and she doesn't understand why it happened and that she's sorry. The rest of the day I spent questioning what I did wrong and replaying the images from Snapchat. That night she calls me crying saying how she effed up and bashing herself and all. Vulnerability gets the best of you as all I wanted was to be with her. I go back home and we have a long talk. She says that I can check her phone every day and even enabled locations 24/7. We went to bed just fine although I was still really heartbroken. Next day she chose to work from home and I was happy about that. Went to shower and my thoughts ran wild. When I got out the shower I asked her to see her phone. She looked at me like F dollar and at why now. I check her Snapchat and after she told me she was done with everything and wanting to work on us, she responded to one of the guys saying happy birthday darling. I was furious but that was nothing compared to someone she was talking to that wasn't in her chat log before. In this conversation she says, I have to focus on repairing my relationship but he doesn't know it's you. I'm sad because it was a breath of fresh air. Maybe we just lusted for each other. And maybe we'll reconnect in the future. I was like WTF. Especially after last night, I asked her right away who this person was. I've always had a strong sense of things or intuition on as to who it may be but she proceeded to say it was a contractor from one of the other properties. Sadly, I believed her. Tuesday comes and I'm just looking at her wondering why? Wednesday she goes to the office and I'm working from home and just the thoughts of the videos and pictures and the chats were just eating so badly that I decided, and please do not bash me on this, to take my life. I turned off my phone and she panicked and called PD. They came and saw what I did and forced me to go to the hospital. After a long night, I had no choice but to go to a mental facility. It felt like I was in a movie. She was with me the whole time before going to the facility. My first day there, I felt so out of place but I put myself there for stupid reasons. When I met with the psychiatrist, I vented to her about why I did what I did. Unfortunately, being madly in love with someone makes you do stupid things. When I mentioned the part of the chat about, he doesn't know it's you, the psychiatrist immediately said, it's almost like you may know this person. I was like F dollar and at. As soon as the session was done, I called her and told her that the psychiatrist made me realize who it may be. My intuition has never been stronger, and when I asked her, she confirmed that it was the property manager while crying. I was so damn angry that I was trapped in that facility because I couldn't act on my emotions. I was so angry with her, with myself and the world. She came to see me every day and promised me that she's done with everything and that they are not talking. She came to pick me up when I got out and was showering me with love and welcome. Took me out to dinner and we went home to settle down. We hung out, watched some Netflix and went to bed cuddling. I woke up to look at her and I felt like I was in bed with a complete stranger. I started going off. I wanted to know everything and she told me, and I wish I didn't ask. It all started when I called PD on our situation. She was vulnerable, and he worked his way to her. I kept asking her what did he say or do to get her to be that comfortable with him. Found out that when I was home working and waiting for her to come out at 5:30, her excuse was that he had to finish something when in reality she was going to his apartment. Although she only worked 10 minutes from our home, she was getting home at 7 or 8 p.m. due to having to send out some offers. So damn oblivious. The relationship I had with her brother was always strange, but we clicked on our passion for cars and more so her nephew, his son. That little kid loves me so much and he knows I feel the same. I did that for her. I built that relationship with her nephew for her. Come to find out, when her brother comes over to hang out, I'm there keeping them company while she worked late when in fact she was at his place. She was a 2 minutes walk away. The amount of emotions that have taken over my life is too great. I can't stop my thoughts and wondering if she has feelings for him. I asked her and she said yes, but not like that. I've gotten to the point where I feel like I can't ever trust her again, but damn, this was the woman I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Found out where he lived and what car he drives just to plot my revenge. Got this information from her doing some extreme things I'm not proud of. We do not have anything tied to each other than our bills. Even after everything, I really want to be with her so badly, but my thoughts have been brutally strong and we can't go an hour or two without mentioning something. I believe her when she says that it's done, but I still have strong doubts. I can't be messed up and blame her for everything as I let myself go and I was blind on the fact that my relationship was falling apart. What advice do I need to save my relationship? Also, am I being too hopeful or am I just being really stupid? Again, I apologize for the long post and thank you all for reading.